All right. Okay. The FPS. Is it me that is having like a fucking stroke? Or... Okay. We're there. Hi. Hope you're going well. I'm a little schizo, okay? Just a little. Alright. Let's get started. How about... Right. Do we have any other news in our memes? Ooh! Ooh! That's a lot of damage! Holy! Holy shit! That's in Celsius! Is Ukraine okay? Did they fucking forecast a bomb? The fuck? Oh. I never thought to check China. Boy, that's a 14. Holy. Oh, that's why it's hot. Okay, the markets are not open yet, so let's not take a look at that yet. All right. Okay. So we need to be able to yap about this correctly. Okay. All right. Let's just lay out the arguments being made for and against AI, so that we can have the technical debate first and fucking trounce it. Hi Guardian, how's it going? Let's start by describing who the fuck these people are. Back to the void. What does that mean? You okay? what a timing! Universidad de Brasilia. Okay. Okay, let's use these two things. And let's explain the start of this. Hello from my holiday in Poland. Wow. Isn't Poland in hell right now? Are you alive, good sir? Are you alive? Please don't forget to drink water, okay? Drink. I'm gonna drink coffee for you, but drink water, okay? All right. It's almost 40 degrees Celsius. Yes. Yes, it is hell. Like the yeah, the felt, it's probably 40 degrees Celsius. Water is vodka here. Bro, it doesn't matter if they're retarded. You gotta survive. Debate started from a thread between let's put all the fucking links. I'm alive, so it's fine. What am I seeing through AI debate? Okay, so here is the TLDR. So there's been a massive AI debate in the Linux kernel mailing list where essentially a guy 1v 1500 people because he's anti-AI. So the big issue is that a lot of people have a misunderstanding. Like in the Linux kernel video, I'll cover all the arguments that are being made, but at the end, all of these arguments truly don't matter. So people have a misunderstanding of what a specific. I write all my code from scratch. That's good. I try to do that, me too. So yeah. So people have this misunderstanding. By the way, hi Crucial Flow and hi Q King. Didn't say hi to you. Typing speed was never an issue for me. Crying in C based. Okay, so there's like these two things that people misunderstood, okay? So when you make a critique about the Linux kernel, your critique has to be on the technical side, as opposed to the moral side. The reason why is because moral issues are not solved through the Linux kernel. So the Linux kernel is not the right venue to bring that critique. So for example, if you believe let me make the okay, so the concrete thing that they're saying in the mailing list is essentially, well, there's morality issues with AI, so there should be an option for people that truly never want to interface with it. So if you have a note from a bot that scans things, well, it should be rewritten in order to get to me because I don't want to interface with AI, or I don't want to be forced to have AI anything because of the moral issues. Now, when we look at that, this is a strictly moral issue. There's no technical value to that criticism. So Linux is not the right venue for this. If you want change in that way, there's two ways that you can have that change. Way number one, politics. That's pretty obvious. And way number two, you could still make a moral argument with technical value if a large enough group of people won't work for the kernel because of that moral issue. So let's say that every instance of a specific CPU was made through slave labor, and all the kernel devs were like, we're not going to continue working with this shit if we make code for that. That's like too much for us. We're all going to walk out. In that way, you could make a technical argument because you're going to hemorrhage people making code from a moral one. So those are the only way to kind of push further your moral issue. One, not using the kernel, which I believe is the best venue for it, and the second, through the kernel, which is, I mean, we can debate a lot of things, but fuck. Okay. So like, the problem is, a lot of people don't understand that. Like, Crucial Flow, you say that it is common knowledge. It is not, okay? A lot of people think, when they go through life, that every one of their choice has moral weight. They truly think that if they interface with a company, that itself interface with a company, that itself has like 1% child labor or something, it means that they are employing child labor and that they are evil. Like, there's a lot of people that thinks like that. So, in the video, I kind of need to make the point across that this is kind of idiotic, right? But without calling those people idiots and trying to make them understand why this is not the case. So the way that I'm going to do it is I'm going to talk about the Canadian boycott of the US. I personally boycott the US. I don't buy anything from the US. So when I go to the grocery store and I see a can of food from the US and a can of food not from the US, I buy always, it can be from Brazil, I don't give a fuck. I'll buy something not from the US because they are making a threat against my country. They are trying to rape the sovereignty of my country. Now, I think this is a purely valid critique. Like, is there truly something more concrete than violation of sovereignty, like, as an issue? It's kind of hard to beat, okay? But how fucking unhinged would it be for me to ask of other kernel developers to not use US services to speak to me? That would be unhinged, right? That anyone would look at that and would be, this guy is crazy. Like, what the fuck is he talking about? So I think that's going to be my vector to, like, try to smash some sense. The problem with AI code is the lack of copyright, but how do you handle copyright? My understanding is that first of all, here the subject is strictly for AI review. So there's no issue with copyright about this specific subject. But if we want to shift over to copyright, the truth is, I truly believe that it does not matter unless you have like a source. If we had an automated bot that was just shoving code into the kernel, then I could see it as a liability. But here, you're never going to be able to like target specific code from the kernel. Like, the truth is, let's say that the US government says, they're not, but let's say that the US government says, well, we put this law that all code coming from AI, or there's this decision from the judiciary that says all code coming from AI is it cannot be copyrighted for some reason because it is derived from possibly copyrightable code. The truth is, no one is going to be able to bring anything against the Linux kernel because it will be impossible to prove that some code was done through AI. And the second part of this is this situation won't happen, and if let's just smoke some crack and say that it happens, it's going to be resolved in like 5 seconds because the AI companies, they will rework their model to make sure that this is not an issue anymore. Like, the AI technology, the LLM technology, is not the issue for copyright. You get that, right? The issue is the content put in the LLM that is the issue for copyright. So, like, this is overall a non-issue because no one can bring a case against the Linux kernel. So, like, we can talk about morals here, but this has no technical value. This seems pretty reasonable since moral issues aren't affecting Linux as a technical aspect. Exactly. Moral values shouldn't really touch technical things in the kernel. Yes, so, like, apart from the extreme example where, like, all the Linux kernel devs or maintainer would walk out, there's no way to make a technical argument from a moral one. So in the video, I think I'm going to say something like, well, the main guy that is like yelling is called Laurent. So that would be Laurent. If you want to make that argument, go ahead. You just have to talk to as many Linux dev as possible, make them sign a fucking paper telling them, well, these are my issues, and we won't work for the Linux kernel if they're not fixed, and then you'll be able to make that argument. But I don't believe that he can make it. People just, like, people have this disconnect in their brain because AI has become a political issue. Woo bro is not talk to a brick wall. That's true, Commander. Not talking to the brick wall today. But how do you handle copyright? Okay, we've talked about that. Code is art to copyright. We all copy code. Yes, and that's something too, right? The truth is, my understanding of most open source project is that whenever you submit code, some project will ask you to sign, but normally you're making the statement as a dev that this is in your, like, copyright, this is your copyright, and you're giving it to, I don't know if it would still be Linus, but you're giving it to the project owner. So I know that Fedora, you need to, like, sign a license in order to send the code in. So, like, these are this is not an issue, because the issue, even, like, let's scroll back, let's say that there was some legality issue with the copyright. The liability would not even be on the Linux kernel, it would be on the dev that wrote it. But here I'm purely talking about, like, court stuff that cannot be proved and won't ever be proved. For code that gets used in millions of devices, legality does matter somewhat. I agree, but this issue has been solved 20 years ago. Almost impossible to prove it. Okay, I think we yapped through all the arguments. I don't like AI because RAM costs money. Like, I know you're joking, but that's a non-argument. Like, I think it's kind of, I see it the other way. It's kind of cool that for years we've had the luck to live in a world where, like, the tip of technology was available to anyone and was truly very cheap. Like, let's not lie to ourselves. Even today, if we're walking outside of RAM, like, it is so cheap. We need to celebrate that, right? We need to embrace that. And when we see something being, well, we can feel taken away, but the truth is, when something was priced way too cheap for what it was, well, fuck. That's just how it is. There's no other way to say it. AI itself is fine, but data center economics is stupid. It depends. I would probably argue on that. Look, Crucial Flow. If you want to make your arguments in text, you can. If you want to make it in voice, you can too. Discord is there for that. But I think that there's a lot of yap around the data centers, and 99% of the arguments are just arguments that we would never accept in any other, like, situation. So, like, of course, I'm sure you guys are all very smart, big brain guys. The water argument is bullshit. No AI data centers, like, no AI data centers that are being constructed have issues with consuming a lot of waters. The electricity argument is also bullshit. We never, in the history of at least the United States and Canada, look, maybe in the EU is different, okay? So I don't know how fucked your guys' electricity grid is, but in the US and Canada, never in the history of never was anyone restricted by the availability of electricity. This is like an unhinged way of thinking about things. The way that it should work is, if people need electricity, price go up. Thus, we should want to produce more electricity so that price go down and everyone makes a profit. That's kind of the thing, right? So this is not an issue. And when I think it's New York State that, well, a lot of places are trying to do that, but that are saying, we're doing a AI moratorium. It's like, are you fucking retarded? How? Like, my answer as a politician would be, holy shit, we have like the prime way to make money here. Let's create our own, like, public enterprise for electricity, where we're going to produce a fuck ton of electricity and bank on that. Because if you can truly just start making power and making a fuck ton of money because these AI data center need power, bro, this is free money. Take it, just take it. So that's yeah. Like those two, the resource availability is a non-argument. But again, everything I'm saying here, I'm more than willing to respectfully debate it, and debate it in chat in voice if necessary. Okay, my argument is economic. They use fraud and circular funding. Fraud, I disagree with that. I have not been shown anything that shows fraud. Circular funding, I think this is way the fuck overblown. So the issue is, I'm trying to explain how balance sheets works. Okay. So when you have a company and when you're an investor, that's me. When you're an investor, okay, you're trying to look at how much profit and how much spending a company has, also how much asset Like you're looking at all this. But the issue, and technically, wait, I should have made these smaller. Give me a moment. Okay, profit, spending, liability. Okay, here we go. So profit, spending, liability, asset. Fucking hell, I'm retarded. Okay. Asset. So you're looking at these values, and that's how you make your investment decision. The big issue is that sometimes it's just crazy retarded for a company to spend everything right now, or to like these are weirdly enough somewhat fungible. Okay, so liability and spending, shifting these around can give you some like crazy benefit in the long term. And profit and asset, these two, like shifting these around a little bit can help you. Like on a tax way of thinking about it, it's preferable. On an optics way to think about it, it's preferable, because if you have like a bad quarter, you can kind of feel better about it. So this reality, we're going to talk about Oracle in a moment, but this reality means that it might make sense for Amazon to say, okay, I will create this company, and by create I mean like highly incentivized, not like direct, it's not direct ownership, but I will allow this company to exist that its whole goal is to create a data center. I will guarantee them that they're going to have money. I'll guarantee them a monthly like allowance or something. And at the end of the day, this company is essentially a bond. So it's essentially just something that holds the data center, and that investors in that company can expect like a 4% return, or like a specific set of return. This specific thing, people will call that circular funding, fraud, and all that. It's not. It's really not. It's standard business management, balance sheet management, because this, like, let's just think about this. This allows something very clever. Right now, your AI may not be doing a lot of profits, but later on, it will do a lot of profits. So spreading that initial investment is just good business for you. So just from this point of view, this specific way of doing things is justified. There's nothing bad with that. And here we can like go on different directions with the AI company saying, I guarantee you that I'm going to need this computing power, so I'll buy your GPUs, or these things. Like, these business deal just make sense for the scales that we're talking about. And there's like, I haven't seen anything truly horrible with that. With one big issue. Oracle. The big reason why Oracle is an issue with me is because the experts have looked at it, and they're like, bro, we're going to have a hard time guaranteeing your fucking bonds, okay? They try to issue bonds. I think we can, like, you know it's fucked when, no, that's not what I want. Hello. Oracle bond, please. Like their bond cost is a little unhinged. It's like 2%. I don't know if fuck, am I going to be able to find it? So the cost to guarantee a bond has went up dramatically, but I don't know if I'll be able to find it. So, okay, the reason why this is an issue, the issue here is that if there is like a dip in the market, if there is an external shock, then Oracle will be the first one to fall. Oracle will be the one in the back of the car being like, so that's kind of the issue. Okay. No, this is not a justified investment. They can't even power up all of it. You need proof for that. I'm sorry, I'm not seeing proof. They can, I think, but why power if it is not used? I do the same with my home lab. I'm not sure if I understand this part, but like the core. Okay. What about Holy Ram Trinity, alleged price fixing? I'm going to believe it's Commander. I'm going to believe in this when they're going to go to court and they're going to like get slammed for exactly that. I'm fucking done with what's this guy fucking traitor? Not this YouTube thing, dumbass. Okay, we're going to see it. He's always here. This guy. Okay, I'm done with Gamer Nexus being a fucking liar. So unless there is a court decision, I'm not even looking in that direction. Because people say price fixing this, price fixing that. Right now, the economics of RAM chips are like fucked. And when I say fucked, I mean a lot of people want it and there's not enough of it. So prices are going to go up. That's just economics. We cannot go around it. So is there price fixing? Maybe. Who the fuck knows? Bring a lawsuit. Like these. And when I say bring a lawsuit, I want it to be crystal clear in everyone's mind right now. Lawsuits work, okay? You can go to court and find someone guilty of a thing. Courts still work, even in Trump's America, okay? So, if it doesn't, okay, let's be clear. If it doesn't imply, if it doesn't like have something to do with Trump, the Supreme Court will be okay. Okay, so even the most supreme retards in the land will do good decisions. So I'm just not going to waste my oxygen for like it's not okay. Crucial flow. Everyone can bring a lawsuit. I can bring a lawsuit against you for fucking my dog. I have no proof of that. It doesn't exist. It has like no remote sense, but I can bring a lawsuit. So my issue right now is that I want a decision on the lawsuit. I want a lawsuit to be closed. And the only way that you can like argue, the only way that you could argue me outside of that position, there's two ways. First, if you have like the result of a lawsuit, we can look at it, and then I would be more than happy to say, okay, there was price fixing, or there was X or Y, whatever findings we get. Or second, if we actually go into the filings of the lawsuit, not the closed lawsuit, but the filings, and the information there is appealing enough and is complete enough for me to agree with the conclusion, right? Of course, I will always side with whatever the judge ends up with, because the judge are experts, they're there for that. But we can still like look at overwhelming data and be like, yeah, okay, they fucking did it, right? We can do that. Proof. Okay. Proof. Microsoft CEO said has a ton of unused chips in warehouse. Okay, you need to decouple things right now. Okay. A CEO. You seem very rational, but why do you defend companies that don't care about you? I'm going to address that, but keep that on hold, okay? It's just because... Okay, fuck. I want to answer everything. I love you all, guys. I'm going to go one by one. Proof. Microsoft CEO says there's a ton of unused chip in a warehouse. Look, I don't know where that quote comes from. I'm gonna be transparent with you. I haven't read about that. But here, what I would assume is that if we look at the situation where this happens, it's probably a good idea to have that quote. So the goal of the CEO is a little bit like a politician, okay? His goal is to make sure that the vibes are immaculate. He's here to make you feel like this shit is the fucking bomb. So let's say that we're entering like a couple of months where people that are following the investments, like the investor community, is looking at things and is like, oh shit, we don't have enough chips. Microsoft coming out and saying, we got this shit on lock. We have a bunch of chip in a warehouse. And maybe they have 100 chips in the warehouse. Like maybe they have fucking nothing, right? But saying that is something that is small enough that it's not like it's not a big lie that you can be sued for, because lying to an investor absolutely is something that you can be sued for. But it is something that will set the vibes in the way that you want. So one thing that you can point to, one thing that you need to think about is when you see, look, I have no proof of this. This is maybe a little bit me going into conspiracy land. We've heard a lot of discourse around the hacking done by AI companies. So like the AI agent go rogue and these things. The reason why they do that, I don't believe it's because like it's truly an issue. I think that they kind of set it up. And the reason, thank you, Azure, and the reason why they set it up is because it's good business, right? If let's think about this. Let's say that you're an investor and you're trying to see, who is the best guy for AI? Who is the best AI on the market? And you have that AI that essentially act a couple of business. That looks fucking great, okay? That looks like the shit. So it's just good business to have these things kind of happen, right? You don't want to have actual damage being done because that would be a real liability, but being able to say, oh, well, there was a couple of attacks to people that truly don't fucking mind because the people that were being hacked were Hugging Face, right? These are like the most pro-AI motherfuckers in the world, okay? They're going to vibe through this and love it. So when you look at that, it's just good business for this to happen because they don't believe that they're going to have laws that are going to come about that are going to restrict them too much because they don't care about some amount of restriction, but like it's never going to be big enough for them to care. But the publicity, that's some big returns. So it makes sense for these things to happen. Okay. I hate the memory crisis, but they have a point. If they want to make a profit selling high prices to company who buy it so much, it is very good business decision. Not fun for, I mean, I think you wanted to say users. Oh, us. Okay, I'm a retard. Yeah, and like we need to keep in mind also, when we talk about this is not a moral decision, right? So selling at a specific price is not a moral decision. I once was a computer technician, and when I would price how much I would like charge for a computer install or a specific computer, the price of the good, like the production price, has literally no binding on the price that I'm selling it. So I could have a computer that I got, like a used computer that I got for $200, and I could sell it for $800 if I know that I can make the sell. Like this is how business works. There's a market. If there's a lot of people that need a thing and there's not enough buyer, the price is going to set itself to that level. And this is, we can, like, this is an aside. I don't want to go deep in that, but if you want to, we absolutely can. This is why the pricing of graphic card is, well, was fucking retarded. Remember when, like, during COVID, there was a lot of, like, there was not enough graphics cards, so what would happen is they would sell the graphic card at a specific price because Nvidia and all the companies wanted to seem like good guys, and it ended up all being resold on eBay for, like, ×3 the price. The truth is, as consumer, we should want the price to be set at the right place at the start. Because you, my friend, are not going to get that graphic card, right? You're not going to be able to be the first one to click on the button. The people that are, like, making this their whole fucking life to game that system are going to win. The scalpers are going to win. Illegal or not, there's money to be made. They're going to win this fight with you. So in this environment, you should wish that the people making the card get the money so that at least they can invest that money somewhere productive, right? Wouldn't you want Nvidia and like Asus, Gigabyte, all of these companies to have that money so that they can do something productive instead of the scalper? Because here, that's the decision that you're making. You're not making the decision what price is the consumer going to pay. Your end consumer is not going to pay that fucking price. The person that's going to pay the price is set by the market. You have no choice in that. So that's something to, like, think about it. I think I skipped a fuck ton of things. Sorry. Spare hardware is needed to prevent long-term failure. That's true. You rather want spare assets since you can sell them later. That's true too. There is a high chance that it will be used eventually. Yes, but when a CEO makes statement, mostly it's just for vibe and fixing possible issues that they see coming on in the discourse. Unless you're Diddy, okay. There is a lawsuit against Memphaz for price fixing. I'm never denying that this is happening, right? There could be lawsuits. What I'm saying is I'm waiting for the evidence. And if you want us to go through the evidence, hop on Discord. You can send me the link for like where you see the lawsuit happening. We're gonna look at that lawsuit. We're gonna dig into it, and we'll come to a conclusion, right? We normally, well, in most places in the US at least, the documents are public, so we can actually look at the fucking evidence and get to a decision. Okay, we've talked about that from QKing, crucial flow. You seem very rational, but why do you defend companies that don't care about you? This is important. This is very, very important for your mental state, okay? Let's drink a bit of water. So, okay. I know the framing that you are applying on this and how you read this and how you view this. I understand that. Here, the issue and what you're not seeing, let's again make our simple graphs, is that companies are making moves inside of an environment. And this is like the forces that they're doing, what the moves, everything, those things are amoral. There's no morality to that. Where your morality stands is with the rules of that system. And the rules of that system is only done through politics. So the issue so to come back to the companies, when we say, why are you defending companies? Well, it is because technically, if what you're using is lies, you cannot fix the problem, right? If your goal is to go into the politics realm and fix the companies, like let's say that you have broken companies and you want to fix them, you need to have like a understanding of how they work and why they're doing what they're doing. Because if you don't, you're never going to be able to do good policy, and your policy will essentially never pass because all of the people in the Senate and in your governing bodies, whichever country you're in, they're going to look at this and they're going to have the fucking AI company call and tell them, bro, if you pass this, the fucking... The stocks are going down, bro. Okay, I'm not kidding. We're fucked. We're truly fucked because you're gonna have wrong policies. And here I'm not saying that anything corrupt happened by them calling. That's just standard lobbying, and that's okay. We can fucking get into that if you want. But like at the end of the day, you don't want to push policies that breaks your economy. You don't want to do that. And when you decouple the truth and what you think, you're increasing wildly the chance of you doing that. So, like your rhetoric is not conducive with the truth. So when you try to apply it on politics afterward, if you try, because most people won't because of the rhetoric also, it will essentially infect your policies and make them impossible to actually apply. So here, what I'm essentially saying is, the truth is the truth, please fucking follow the truth. I'm not defending anything. I'm describing how a system runs, and if you want to change it, you need to understand it. The best power that you can have in your hand is understanding how the system works, because then, if you go to your representative most likely understand how the system works. So when you tell them, hey, can we like do this? I would support doing this. Instead of them looking at whatever you're saying and being like, oh fuck, he's a retard, they might say, oh fuck, that's not bad. Okay, but they make a lot of money, he is a politician, he is good, he tries to answer it from his perspective. Like, here again, it's not a perspective thing, it is just the truth. Like, everything that I've explained here is just how a system works. There's no morality. Like, is there a morality in how an oil engine works? Like the piston going in and out, is there morality in that? Of course not. It's just a fucking engine, right? Maybe it can be a statement in a world where, like, if we burn one more gallon of oil, we're all going to die. In that world, maybe it's a statement to run that engine. But the fact that the engine works like that is not a moral statement. And if you don't understand how your engine works, how can you seek to fix it? That's my problem. Kitty Plasma, bless your arts. Haven't seen this in a while after switching to Neri. This is where I began when my friend showed me his Linux PC, first time ever. Like and sub, keep it up for the good work. Thank you again, Azure. It's good business to screw consumers over. Again, this thinking is why nothing makes sense to you. Like, why whenever you're thinking about this, I was just like you before. Whenever you're thinking about this, you cannot make predictions, okay? When I think about these things, I can predict how people will act, and it actually fucking happens. Because when you understand how the underlying structure works, it's easy to then make your prediction. Life is so much less stressful, okay? Just telling you. It's good business for them, it's bad for me. This is where the scalping thing is important for you to understand. There is, like, the price is going to be what it is. The market will take care of that. Unless we are magically under communism and some people don't have the right to some resources, there's no way to fix that. The market will take care of itself. If there's enough money, there's going to be a dark market. There's going to be, like, even if it's illegal, they're going to find ways to do it. And, like, that's true with chips, that's true with shows, right? If you want to go see a concert for someone, there's going to be scalping if the price is too low. Yeah. With your logic, hi Audie, hey, nerd talk, best kind of talk. Okay. With your logic, dropping a nuke on another country is a technical matter, not a moral issue. It depends. It depends, right? So let's think about this. Well, dropping a nuke, there's always like a moral dimension to it because we're talking about the lives of people. But it feels a lot more technical. Let's say that two countries, let's take like the island of Haiti, okay? Whoops. Looks like that, I think. Okay. So here you have the Dominican Republic. I should do it in blue. Dominican Republic. And here we have Haiti. So let's say that these two countries, let's say that the whole world is these two countries, okay? And Haiti, let's say that they're just trouncing the Dominican Republic, okay? They're just beating them. And right now, they have air superiority. They are, like, winning. But the Dominican Republic, they ain't resigning, okay? They will fight till the end. You make the calculus. There's a city with 1 million people. If you nuke it, they all die. But if this war continues on, you're going to have 10 million people dying over the next 5 years and massive losses. So the argument that you're making here is that if you can nuke that city, you will subjugate them. You will make sure that that war ends. So here, there is a technical argument to be made that nuking them is actually saving lives. So here, like, we can debate this, right? We can absolutely... It is a strongly, like, moral thing. But the technical argument of if you know you will get, like, a white flag after the nuke, but you know that there's no other way to get that white flag, like, this is a technical argument that must be contended with. Why would I want Nvidia to have even more money when they don't really care about us gamers anyway? That's what you think, right? Let's think about this. Let's say that Nvidia has more money, and because they have more money, they start making their own foundries, and they can make more GPUs, and they end up pushing down the price. So right now, instead of the scalper having the money, you have lower prices because there's more GPU. Isn't that better? Like here, I'm talking about possibilities, but just as a core thing, like here I'm making a moral argument now. If you have the choice between the scalper and Nvidia having the money, I will take Nvidia, okay? This is my moral. I believe that people that do a real work and that not just skim the profit that is fucked because of a bad market condition, but that actually produce a thing should get the profit for it. That's just me. If you think that those two entities are all like equivalent and whichever gets the profit is not important to you, that's okay. That's a moral argument. But just know that on the technical front, if Nvidia prices things lower, your scalper will be there to fuck up with that margin because there's money to be made. It's just, there's no way to get around that. No matter the system, no matter the way, it's always going to be gained. So, still on 8 gigabytes of RAM, by the way. NAPLANs and A-paper reading or book reading stream. Companies are not the enemy. We make them, we consume them. They're entities playing within rules set by a government. Well, by a state, let's be precise. 8 gigabytes DDR4 is still pretty okay if you aren't intensively using your PC, but it's on the lowest side, yeah. It's maladministration and scientification that is the issue. Companies have morality. They care about... Well, these things are not morals, right? They're like generic rules. So here I believe that you're conflating, like when we're using the word morals or ethic, normally what someone would mean is do we think of them as like, can we, okay, I don't know, maybe you guys think differently. Can we blame morally a cat? Is a cat a moral agent? Like, to me, let's say a cat like scratches my daughter. Like, yes, I don't want the cat to scratch my daughter again, but the cat is the fucking cat. right? He doesn't have any moral agency. He doesn't make decision. He hasn't scratched my daughter because he's a fucking, like, evil cat. He's just, like, it's an automaton. It's a fucking robot, okay? It's just like a robot. If you open your computer and your computer doesn't boot, it's not because the computer is immoral. It's because there's an issue in the wiring, right? So, like, those things are not moral. So using moral here is wrong. Like, where your morality is in how your state is built. So let's say that because of some rule from the ruling party, the government, they would it would be acceptable, legal, and like the move to do to have slave labor. Then your moral issue is not with the company having the slave labor, it is with the government creating these laws that makes this possible. And you should seek to fix it. Because if you're triggered with the company, the conclusion that you have, like let's focus on the analysis that you're having right now. If you're triggered with the company, there's no solution, right? Because you're going to ask the company to stop using slave labor. They're not going to do it because economically that's retarded. If they don't do it, their competitor would do it and they will lose, right? They will lose market share. They will be fucked. So, like, they just either won't do it or will lose market share, so the other slave labor doing company will win. So, like, there's no winning in this analysis. So the analysis you need to have is, how do I change the rules of the game so that instead of having to have slave labor, they can do something else, right? Or they do something else, or they just don't do it because it's illegal. Like, these company responds to market condition, to they respond to all of that, right? The rules, the laws, that's part of it. Okay, as a point, I think I answered that. We need trade, not torture. Property, not policy. Same goes to gaming these days. We need games, not licenses. I don't know. I think we're like, I believe this is a non-issue. Like, the difference between a game and a license, I need to be convinced. Okay, I can see how this could be an issue if there was, like, let's say that there was a new Steam being created every month and that it would, like, go out of business every month, so people would, like, have their library wiped. That would be an issue. But here I just don't see that happening. So it's the job of the government to regulate them in such a way that they can externalize their losses, as the public are the ones eventually taking the cost. No, this is a bad way to think about that. So fight for transparent and iterative regulation. You're seeing the economy as a zero-sum game, as something that if I win, you lose, and that's just not the case. Like, the fact that if a company creates a new technology that, like, improves working condition, improves the efficiency of a worker, that's a win for everyone, right? Even if technically some people will lose their job, because there's an improvement in efficiency, everyone's paycheck is going to go up. Well, if that improvement in efficiency is applied in enough sectors of the economy, and it's complicated, but like the rough technical part, okay, is if worker more efficient, more money for worker, okay? The not owning anything part is the worst thing, in my opinion. I think that this is only vibes. I still remove the DRM from my games and software, so I can put it on a disk and drive for myself. GOG is goated for that. Like, you can believe that, but like, I don't see it as a problem. By the way, self-regulation is a scam. Take booing, for example, in my opinion. No. Nuking is like opening Pandora's box. It will be super bad. In our modern environment, yes, it would be extra fucking bad. But here I was making the example as, like, there is only these two countries in the world, and we're making the calculus from here. I was trying to simplify it. Never used Yoji, sadly. Okay. Hey, Dmitri. How's it going? Going well. Q King, trolley problem. If you do nothing, you kill... I fucking blown a lot of people's mind with this discourse, eh? If you do nothing, you kill 10 million people. If you nuke, kill... save... yeah, I just don't believe that this is... Like, a trolley problem is never a real thing. Like, the idea that not doing anything is not a decision. So if you're, like, not imposing yourself on the decision, it changes anything. That's retarded. Not doing anything is a decision too. So in my view, you're having a switch with no middle position, and it's one or the other. I'm not saying that you're retarded, Q King. Okay, I'm just saying the trolley thing is retarded. A cat just got its snail. That's it. Will it truly make a difference? My understanding is that they can still somewhat scratch, but here the idea is at the end of the day, my core point here is that the cat isn't a moral agent. Just like a company, just like an engine, they're not moral agent. What are moral agent though are people and groups of people, as in states. Like in democracies, because we vote for our representative, our state can be a moral agent. So I would say, so let's take World War II, right? Hitler gassing the Jews is something that the morality of that thing is dispersed through, like, of course, Hitler as a big fucking... he has a big culpability for this, but there's also dispersed culpability, moral liability through the German public because they have allowed this to happen. So, like, here we could, like, argue about the nitty-gritty, about the small differences, but yeah, we all agree that if a state is conducting a genocide, the people within that state have some moral culpability, right? Or else a lot of things would change in our brain. Like, we see in war, like the point of view, the modern point of view of war is that if, let's say, a group of people, you have like 10 soldiers and you have like one citizen inside of a building, it might be worth it to bomb the whole building knowing that the citizen will die. Like, that calculus is being made. I don't know how much we could make that calculus if we don't, like, disperse a little bit the... well, no, maybe I'm overextending here. Retract what I just said. I think I need to think more about that. Like, it would work... The moral culpability would fit with Japan, because the whole... yeah, this is more complicated. If we want to go into it, I'll fucking think about it for real, but... government makes laws and rules. Society makes morality. We want ethics, but follow Eastern philosophy, so it does not translate well. I don't know how it would change anything, but... Like, I think that as a... Fuck. Oh, bye-bye, Ek. I can read your things just so that if you're still there, I can answer them. Cat is not moral if you assume that it is not conscious ethical agent in our system. Eastern, they disagree. They say even fire has morality to burn. Yes, but then you need to differentiate between things that are like have an heightened conscious state or those that don't, right? Because if you're fire, like, then okay, if an arsonist burns down a building and people die because they're inside of the building, I would highly believe it would be, I would doubt that in his Eastern philosophy, you would say, well, the liability for that is shared in equal ways between the fire and the person that burns down the building. Like, that would be, I feel that that would be a little insane. Like, the fact that the person can think about this is... Anyway, if you have a pet and you will realize animals are capable of conscious manipulation. To conscious manipulation, I disagree with that. My cat was not manipulating me. My cat was wired to do a thing. Like, it's a... At the end, technically humans are the same thing. It's just that we can apply that... if we don't apply morals to human, it fucks up the whole thing. Because then, like, there can be no jail. But anyway. Your cat is the way that it is because of how it grew up, and I don't believe that it is a moral agent in any way. Or if you say that it is a moral or an ethical agent, I would like highly differentiate between a human and a cat in such a way that this the fact that you call them both moral agents means pretty much fuck all. Okay, convincing words. Library did get wiped once because some credit card company put pressure on it. This can happen again. When did it happen? For the library. Again, Azure, if you want to hop on Discord, and yep, you can. But if you have the source, you said that it is in the news? Okay. Wanna hop on Discord? Like, you just to be clear, you don't have to voice, right? But I'm not trying to force anyone. Yeah, Discord link should work. Should. And like, we also need to think about this. There are valid reasons for which a library could, like, Steam could remove games from your library. If you revert a transaction on your credit card, so Steam doesn't have the money, so Steam should have the right to remove the game from your library. Like, I think this is a thing that everyone would agree. Bum, bum, bum. Oh. Let me give you a new one. Here. Key sites buying from them is risk of getting games getting removed. It doesn't happen a lot. Yeah, key sites. A lot of them are complete fraud. It's all good. I get what you're writing. Like one of the big thing is I think a lot of people that like see a news title, when I say a lot of people, I mean YouTubers, will like read half an article and they will like go to the most extreme thing linked to that they think it says, but they won't like research anything. So it ends up with an insane amount of just lies. And what frustrates me is, like, when you have more than 10k subscriber, you should know this, right? You should know that what you're saying will be taken by some part of your community as gospel. So this is like an important thing to verify. It is your responsibility as a content creator. Look at Discord as crash. We have tracked the error. Okay. Do you have a... Fuck. It's all good. Which website? What's the name of the website for the news? I don't know. Can I allow links in here? I don't think that is. Okay. Like, there's no moderation for the live chat, but I don't think you can post links. But yeah, if you can describe whatever the fuck. Does this show up? No, nothing show up. Well, your message itself. You see it on screen anyway. Yeah. Still nothing. RIP. Like, are we talking about a YouTube thing or... I don't know. Steam. Wipe. Library. Credit card. Anyways, let's sort by time. Okay. You got it. Thank you. Okay. All right. Valve confirmed credit card company pressured it to delist certain adult games from Steam. Okay. It's MasterCard's world. We just live in it. That's my understanding based on the recent communique from Valve to PC Gamer, which confirm that, yep, the company... by the way, these websites, they pretend to be news. They're not, okay? They're just a vibe sesh, and these people have no, like, understanding of what they're reading. So you need to be very careful from them. The company... I'm saying that because they lie on the regular. I don't know why they trigger me, okay? Which confirmed that, yup, companies sure did recently remove the whole spate of adult games from its storefront because it made the payment preprocessor upset. We were recently notified that certain games on Steam may violate the rules and standards set forth by our payment processor, and related card networks and banks, said Valve. As a result, we are retiring those games from being sold on the Steam store. Valve reaching out to the dev impacted by the change and issuing app credit should they have another game like it to distribute Steam. Yes, because you have to pay a fee in order to put your game on Steam. It used to be $100. I don't know if it's still the case. I still have a slot for publishing one. You know, so long as the game gets the seal of approval from Valve's payment processor, I suppose. To be fair to the house that Gabe Newell built, I don't think it has much of a choice. Valve explicitly said that it was removing the offended game because of the loss of the payment method would prevent customers from being able to purchase other titles and games content on Steam. It seems quite clear to me from those kind of statements that Valve's chafing a little under payment processor tyranny. You see, this is like an opinion piece, right? We're probably not even going to see the fucking source of all these claims, so fucking hell. Okay. I suspect even Steam can really go toe-to-toe to the likes of Visa and MasterCard. Valve's didn't say which games. Like, this would be a very interesting thing to ask for, but okay. Specifically, I've been yonked off Steam as a result of the credit card company throwing their weight around, but I don't think it takes Poirot to put one together. As we noted in our original piece on Steam new rules, the appearance of a new regulation in Steam documentation coincided with the sudden disappearance of a bunch of adult games. Themes of keeping it in the family. Well, okay. Can we have the okay. Incestel, sister and mom. Sex village. Incestel, webcam daughter. Slave of the police officer. Interactive sex, incest twins, episode 3. Like, okay. Look. $100? Wait. After they did this shenanigan, we just complain with our own phone calls. Customer service care was bombarded with calls, one of which was also mine, and Valve had to put the game back. Really? Okay, but when we say they disappeared, were they... What are we talking about here? Can we see... I'm trying to see if they're... Okay, cool. That's not what I wanted to see. Like, the question here... Okay, so there was no reimbursement, but they were not purely removed, right? If you add it in your Steam list, like if you bought it, you still have access to it. They wouldn't even happen if we add the games. Steam tells you while buying that these are licensed copy of the game. That's a good thing. Other storefront should have bought it. Like here, I just think that you're wrong. So, first of all, the issue here, your true issue, okay? If I can distill your frustration, okay? Let's distill this. Your issue is that MasterCard, Visa, and PayPal, you believe these should be common carrier type of businesses. So you believe that these don't have the right to say no to a thing, right? So let's say that a website called like pedodreams.com that is essentially full of underage hentai, let's say. Visa and MasterCard shouldn't be able to say no to that. So that can be a position that you have. If you have that position, the solution here is to make them common carriers, true law. So right now, they're just acting within the frame that they have and the rules that they have set for themselves that they believe is the best rules. Okay. So, yes, but here the issue is that it's sad to say, but not enough people agree with you. So most people believe that these companies should be able to make that decision. So most people, when they look at that, and I'm just telling you, most like boomers and most people that are not like invested in your area of the internet, when they look at that, they say to themselves, well, these games are disgusting. Why should we go along with that? Like, it's their service. Duh. They can say no to it. But if most people would agree with you, first of all, MasterCard and Visa would probably not even have done this. But also, it could be done into law, right? And the thing here, I'm sure that MasterCard and Visa would be happy to have that law pass, because it would mean that they have no external pressure from like some organization that is like anti-porn or something that is like, shut them down or else we're going to make bad news for you. Shut them down or else we're going to make bad news for you. Shut them down. Like it would actually help them. So like, I understand what you're saying, but here what I'm saying, if we come back to all of my explanations, your rhetoric is poisoning your politics stake. So if it wasn't poison, you would be able to see that we need MasterCard and Visa to be common carrier. So your frustration that at the very start was with Steam somehow is now like the right place, the righteous place for it to be. Righteous is the wrong word. The right place for it to be, the most efficient, is laws. And these guys don't want it either. They just want a certain XYZ genre. Shouldn't exist. A chicken will dictate what the animal kingdom will live on. You get the imagery? Okay. I do agree that the common voter is a retard. But for now, it's the best we got. And if you are an American, your system is the most retarded political system ever, because you bet everything on the voter. So if the voter is misinformed, you're fucked. Right, we need law to be made, but look at our lawmaker, the Colorado bill. Remember, we had to keep writing and filling and shouting to make Linux an exception. Which Colorado bill? I don't follow these. Each time I look at these, I find that it's bullshit. Colorado bill, Linux. Let's go for the AI. that would require operating system, including Linux, to provide age verification data to application. This bill is known as age certification. Oh no, not that debate. I don't like Brave. Like, if you don't like Google, you shouldn't like Brave. They're essentially doing the same thing, so. Okay. At the operating system level, which could raise significant privacy concern. You sure at this point? Yeah, that's the thing, right? So when we're saying something like, I use Brave because X, like most of these arguments are going to be an argument to use Tor. Tor could be a good one, but it's really slow. Yeah, okay. My thought on which browser to use is that I don't give a fuck if someone has my data, okay? I'm there. Okay, SB 26051. That is it. Okay. Okay. Do we want to get the full fucking bill? All right, let's July 1st, 2028. Okay, cool. Okay, the Act requires an operating system provider to operate a publicly available internet website, software application, online service, or platform that distribute and facilitate on a commercial basis the download of application from third-party developers to users of device, covered application store, or makes... Oh, okay, this is like one thing. Or makes a covered application store available pre-installed on an operation system to provide accessible interface to account setup that requires an account holder to indicate the age, the date of birth, age bracket of the user of the device in order to provide a signal regarding the user's age signal to application available in the covered application store, provide application dev with reasonably consistent real-time application programming interface that to request and receive the age signal, sends only a minimal amount of information necessary to comply with the act. Okay. Do I want to run into this debate? I did like 5 hours of this. Like, I think we can see it on... Whoops. With this. And this too. Oh my god, I did so much time on this. Do we have... Did I do even more than that? Anyway. Oh yeah, I didn't upload it, but I had like a 5-hour yap with... Was it its commander? The age verification is just the beginning. When a law gets passed, it can be changed at will. No. No. It's age verification now, but soon it will be other data. Neighbors ask for water. May soon ask for a glass. I'm happy that FOSS, OSs, and kernel are an exemption for now. Okay, okay, we need to argue this. Okay. No. A law being implemented does not mean that it can be changed at will. It will still require the votes of the governing body in order to, well, legislative body in order to change it, okay? So the same way that the law came into being is the same way that the law can change. Now, voters are easy to buy if you are governing. Prove me wrong. voters cannot be bought. Okay? Voters cannot be bought. I'm going to ask you a question, and the fact that you won't have a solid answer to that will prove that this is not true. Tell me the mechanism precisely how you buy a voter. I'll go pee. Take your time. Okay. Okay. Azure, you're wrong on the ESA claim. I debated it for 5 hours. I can go through it if you want. Okay. Okay. FOSS means anyone can just remove it. The law can be easily bypassed and a new kernel fork will be updated, so they won't do it. I disagree with that too. Like, yes, you can just fork it and change it, but that's like not it. Easy. Starve them. Ask them if they need redemption. Give them that. Then ask them to vote. That's not how things work, right? If you starve your people, they're going to vote for your opponent. Like okay. Okay, I think I'm so triggered. Why none of you can none of you up on Discord? Holy shit, my issue is I know that each time that I will pin one of the things that you say, you're you're going to from my point of view it's going to be dodge it, but from your point of view is just find another rationalization for it. Okay. Okay. Q-King. What is your opinion on ESA's false claim on Minecraft server being illegal? It's, in the context, it's not a false claim. Let's go watch the video. Fuck. Do I have the false claim somewhere? I didn't upload it. Fuck me. Wait a second. Yes, opinions are opinions, but like, was it in California? California that this thing was happening? Oh yeah, it was. Okay, I think I got it. Oh yeah, I got it. Okay. You can have opinions, but there are things that are just like, they're just true. Like, one thing that I was talking about like another day was that a lot of people are saying like, this is my opinion for a statement of fact. So an opinion is a thing, like it is a thing, and a statement of fact is another thing. Those two things are separate. So when you say, this is my opinion, and what you're pointing at is a statement of fact, yes, I'm doing a dick, okay? Then you're, like, you're just wrong, right? So that's my issue. The internet is so big and on Central, you can upload it for want you to remove. That's not what I'm saying. What I'm saying is that like the bypassing. Okay, when you make an argument and your argument is essentially, well, technically 1% of the user base will be able to do the fucking shit on their own that will bypass everything. That's like not an argument, right? Because 99% of people will still have to live under X regime that has changed. So like it's not worth it.
Cabrera, I. Grayson.
I'll find it. Give me a moment. Oh, is that our girl?
Previously submitted to the author.
Nope.
We also proposed a.
This is what you should look for.
My friend, I replayed this thing 16 trillion times. You will see, okay? I just need to find it. I think I'm too far. Or maybe not.
In public.
Nope. Where is our media guy? Or maybe it's over here. Blackhead. Oh my fucking god.
Markets report.
Oh, that's it. Okay. No. Wait a second. Okay, what we're going to do is we're going to listen to it. And then, when the moment that you think that you have a point comes, holy shit, it was at the start. I'll fucking kill myself. We're gonna go through it.
And for that reason, we urge you to vote aye on this bill.
Thank you. Do we have any other lead witnesses? Seeing none, we're going to move on to lead opposition witness. 2 minutes.
Thank you, Chair and members. Jennifer Gibbons with the Entertainment Software Association. We are the trade
EMA?
association for the
Yes,
video game industry, and we are here to oppose this bill. The bill is trying to solve a problem that has not been demonstrated. It rests on two flawed premises. One, that consumers who purchase a license for a video game should have access to it indefinitely. No other digital product is subject to that standard. Books, movies, music, software, and online services are not required to remain available forever, yet this bill would apply that obligation to video games. This is a significant change in policy that should be seriously considered. Second, the bill assumes that publishers are routinely taking games away from consumers without notice or compensation, which just is not accurate. The examples cited in the analysis don't support the claim. In nearly every case, consumers received advance notice that that online service would end, and many of these games were available for 5 to 10 years before they were sunset. This is a question of consumer satisfaction, not consumer protection. Finally, compliance options in this bill raise serious safety and and legal concerns. Where compliance is impossible, this bill is going to require refunds that bear no relationship to the years of entertainment that the consumer may have received. Whether they played the game for 10 years or 20 years, we would still have to provide them a refund if we can't comply with the options. The author has said he's willing to amend the compliance options since they would encourage moving gameplay into environments outside of publisher oversight, moderation, and security controls, which raises serious safety issues. However, continuing to require games to be provided indefinitely cannot be done without legal and safety issues. ESA has suggested looking at the approach taken by Assemblymember Irwin in AB 2426 related to digital goods.
Thank you. Thank you. Appreciate your time. Any other lead opposition? Seeing none, we're going to move on to Me Too's. State your name, your organization, whether you support or oppose. Seeing none, we're going to move on to committee members. Seeing nothing, Assemblymember, would you like to close?
Yes, ma'am, Sarah. I just wanted to ensure that there were no questions on this bill because I'm happy to really close and really underscore that we are.
Oh, do you have a question? Okay,
Sorry.
no worries. Go ahead.
Sorry, I was
Thank you, Senator.
struck by a member who is in his wheelchair over there, hoping everything's okay. But wanted to, I did have a question about this, and we talked about this bill and really appreciate you trying to help clarify. One, I would appreciate if, Madam Chair, we could just get some response to the opposition's point about the indefinite sort of realities of using the game. I'm unclear about that. But secondly, it looks like currently, and please help me understand this, that a refund is given when access to the game is no longer offered. I agree with refunding resources. You pay for something, you expect to use it. When you can't use it, give me my money back. I understand that. I'm confused about the legalities of being able to offer these different options, playing on different platforms. It seems very complicated, and just curious, is the goal to make the consumer whole? And to me, that's, I'm paying a fee, I don't get the service, I get my money back. The other pieces I'm unclear, and it seems like that there are some questions about copyright and if that's possible. So if you could clarify those two things, I'd appreciate it.
You're hitting a couple of things there. So first of all, I would say
Yes, refunds were given in all the times, okay? All of them that you're going to find, there were refunds given. And if you are talking about an example where no refund was given after a game was running for like 6 years, you are insane. A game is not supposed to run forever. Steam gave those refunds. I mean, not the company, but the company still pays for it. Do you think? Wait. Do you think that Steam was just hemorrhaging money? Do you think that Steam was just hemorrhaging money? Because no, they were not. This is why you need to understand how a system works, okay? I would
say that right now there is no requirement for any refunds under law. And secondly,
there is.
Yes, I think the goal here of the bill is to make sure that there is some balance and some fairness here between somebody that signed up for this license, paid a substantial amount of money because they thought they were going to get a reasonable period of enjoyment out of this, and then had the rug pulled out from under them and really are walking away with nothing. And so whether that, what I want to do through
Steam keeps the money to itself up to a period of escrow time. This is all, not important. All of that is not important. You get that, right? If a game within 2 months of launch cancels itself, a reimbursement will be issued. And that reimbursement will be from the pocket of the publisher. I will explain everything, Q King, okay? So, you know what? I think that maybe we should have gone in the law first, because it seems that no one is fucking questioning what the fuck the retarded law that they're trying to pass is. So the law, what it says, okay? On fucking paper, we can find it. I'm so... sorry, I'm fucking... Let me find it. I don't want to fucking search this for the next eternity. Okay. The law. Yes. No, the law is fucking retarded. You haven't read it, okay? You just haven't. I'm sorry. Okay. The law. Okay. So the law, what it states. Or maybe they changed it since I fucking did the reading. Okay. 60 days before the digital game operator cease to provide services necessary for the ordinary use of a digital game, the operator shall communicate all of the following information to the purchaser and prospective purchaser of a digital game. So here, essentially all the little things that you should know. I don't disagree with that. Besides that part, of course. Okay. A digital game operator shall communicate the information required in subparagraph A by doing both the following: notifying the purchaser directly and posting the information publicly on the operator's website. Beginning on the date a digital game operator ceases to provide services necessary. They fucking changed it. It's not the same version. Is it because I was watching a... Is this the latest? There are more Okay, that's why. Fucking hell. Okay, this is the same thing. Beginning on the date that a game operator ceases to provide services necessary for the ordinary use of the digital game, the operator shall provide the purchaser with one or more of the following: a version of the digital game that can be used by the purchaser independent of service control by the operator, a patch or update to the purchaser's version of the digital game that enables it to continue to its continued use independent of service controlled by the operator, a refund in an amount equal to the highest price of the digital game offered by the digital game operator within the 12 months before the digital game operator ceases to provide services necessary for the ordinary use of the digital game, all necessary documentation to allow purchasers to host a private or community server with which the purchaser could make the ordinary use of the game independent of the service controlled by the operator. Subject to Clause 2, a version of the server software that the game may connect to in order to make the ordinary use of the game independent of ongoing services. If the server software contains additional hardware or software requirements than what was necessary for the original game, Clause 1 shall apply if the operator has communicated that fact to the purchaser and the additional hardware or software requirements are reasonably attained at the time services by the digital operator cease. Beginning on the day the digital operator ceases to provide services necessary for the ordinary use of the digital game, the operator shall not sell, lease, or otherwise distribute a version of the game that cannot be used by a purchaser independent of the of services controlled by the operator. This section does not apply to any of the following: any subscription-based services that advertises or offers for sale access to any digital game solely for the duration of the subscription, any digital game that is advertised or offered to a person for no monetary consideration, any digital game that is advertised or offered to to the seller cannot revoke access to after the transaction, which include making the digital game available at the time of purchase for permanent offline download to external storage source to be used without a connection to the internet. Okay. So, ordinary use, that's an important thing to describe here, means the purchaser ability to use the core feature of a digital game consistent with the reasonable expectation of a purchaser based on how the digital game was advertised, marketed, or otherwise described by the digital game operator at the time of purchase. Now, okay. Want me to explain what all of this says? This will do two things for you. One, it will make sure that all the games you have will be subscribed. will be subscriptions. You won't be able to buy a game anymore because it is too much of a liability. And the only way to bypass all of this is a subscription. Why is it too much of a liability? Well, let me explain. Most games, the games that we're talking about here, are multiplayer experiences, okay? So here, we're not talking about your single-player game, we're talking about multiplayer experiences. And for these multiplayer experiences, when you're selling them, what you're selling is the experience of that multiplayer. So it is, with the wording of that, you could be sued if you're not able to provide either what is essentially a full refund or a way to run like exactly that game. But here's another issue. If you run that game, if you provide like a way to run that game, you now have an added liability. So me, as the game maker, I can be sued if someone gets hacked by my server. So now this means that if I do offer a server, I need to continuously support it. Is that logical? Why wasn't it written somewhere that this liability should not exist? Who the fuck knows? The people who wrote this is retarded. Next up. Let me get the right fucking line. Like the purchaser, the thing about 12 months before the digital game offer a refund, that's fucking retarded as well because, well, A, it can be gamed, right? You could sell the game for like 1 cent before and it would fuck up this clause. But second thing, the thing that we're talking about here is an issue that doesn't really exist. So here we're pretending that there are games for which you buy that are a multiplayer experience and that end up being canceled without reimbursement. These things doesn't exist. So first of all, we're making a legislation for something that doesn't exist. The legislation will put limitation on all devs. So all devs now have to worry about this. So if I do a small server thing with the experience, with the multiplayer experience, I now need, at the end of that process, the only solution that I have, either reimbursement, which is impossible, I need to make my money, or give my server. Well, let me spoil you. The secret sauce of these games is the server experience. So why would you give away what is essentially your trade secret at the end of that process? That's insane, right? It's a little bit as if you were like, so NVIDIA, when you retire a GPU, you need to give publicly the plans for how your GPU works. Why? Maintaining server software is unreasonable, but giving server software or a cut-down version is reasonable to me. The problem is, all of that is things that should not be put into law. We have the plans of, it's called open kernel. That's not true. You don't have the literal, all the fucking like writings into the silicon and how all the secrets on how to make the lithography and all that. You don't have that. You don't. Okay? You have the ABI. Yes, a cut down version is indeed the server source code. Yes, the server source code is too much. You're asking someone to give their trade secret. This is insane. So again, the big issue that I have is we are making regulation about a non-issue, and the only thing it achieves is making sure that each game that wants to operate within their legislation, within California, will now be a subscription. If you are having a multiplayer experience in California, it will be a subscription. And queuing, I disagree. Like source code or not source code, it doesn't really matter because you can just reverse engineer it way more easily if you have the server on your side. So you're like, when we're talking about Minecraft, it has been part of Minecraft for them to have public servers, to have like the community be allowed to use the copyright of Minecraft, it's not the copyright, to use the licenses of Minecraft in order to make servers. Like this is an exception, not the rule. Well, in this case, the trade secret is out. We have Destiny 1 in its own community server. We have Open Warframe for Warframe, Fabric 4 for Minecraft. Do you understand that this is all bad for the company, and this disincentivize the production of new game? If I do a multiplayer, I prefer to give a build of the server itself. None of the little games are finished, so might be a stupid... Like, this is fair, right? You can make the choice as the dev. But, like, you guys have no... I'm saying you guys, but it's Azure, okay? I'm sorry, Azure, I need to point out to you. Think about what you're doing right now. What you're saying is that $1 million company, the company that will shove millions of dollars into a game, will run the game for 6-9 years, update it, do all the right thing. That company needs to be penalized. This is what you're saying. That company that run everything correctly, that did everything by the book, at the very end, when they're like, well, you know what, the multiplayer experience has run its course. There's like 10 people working, like not working, but like playing the game. It's not worth it for us to run the server. Because if it was worth it, if there was a lot of people on the fucking game, they would keep the server around. So we're saying the people that do it correctly, that run down the whole thing, we penalize them. Because there is no sunsetting clause in there. There is no, after that amount of years, you did your job. That doesn't exist. About the nostalgia and the things, that's not, nah. You're, okay, let's go on Steam. When I'm buying, I'm, okay. When you're buying your game, okay? When I'm buying, let's go for... Okay, so when I'm buying Helldivers 2, I'm not buying Helldivers 2 as like some kind of creature-killing game. I'm buying this as an experience. The multiplayer, the fact that each fucking couple of days, each weeks, there's change. The fact that the map, that we can play together and all that. I'm buying that as this experience. And everyone understands, unless you've been mind-fucked by the big propaganda tour that is going on with Stop Killing Games and all of that, everyone understands that there's a time where this is going to end. This is a moment in time. This experience is not continuous. It's not permanent. It's a moment in time. And that makes it great, in my opinion, because you can be part of a big vibe, part of a big movement. But when it will go, it will be gone. Just like you cannot buy a 1955 car anymore, a new one, right? You won't be able to buy the Helldivers experience too. Okay? That's just how it is. No. I have trillions of games. I don't know how to show it. I've played 173, but I have like a couple thousands. 2,600. Yep. You still have that one photo of your childhood. Imagine your parent takes it away from you and says it is not yours anymore. Get out. No, what you're no, this is not the same. What you're saying right now is not that the picture comparison is not good. The real comparison would be you're going to the mall and there's this wait a second. Wait a second. Okay. You're going to the mall, and when you're a kid, right, you can go into these little car thingy, and they do vroom, 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 right? And let's say that this was the case when you were like 5, okay? And now they removed it. You're 45. And you're like, what? You mean that I cannot sit in the car? Me? As a 45-year-old man? Cannot... Like, come on. This is an experience. This is a place and time. You don't have a right to have that experience in all of eternity. When you watch a show online, when you pay for a ticket, when you do anything in life, it is a place and time. Yeah, but I bought GTA San Andreas, I got the game, then got experience for free. But you forgot it again, it's a game, we always choose to play it in a moment in time again. That's the future we want, or at least I want. Yes, but the future, okay, my issue right now is that you're doing the thing. Again, your rhetorics are tainting badly your politics, because you're saying the future I want is a future where we can play in all of eternity that game because the people are like posting the servers. This is not the way to do it, Chief. You get that? This is not the way to do it. Like, if you wanted to do it, I disagree that this is the way to do it, but if you wanted to do it, what you would do is you would say, when a game retires, I disagree with this so strongly, fucking hell. But when a game retires, wait, where the fuck is my things? Okay. When a game retires, a company could be forced to give out the servers, but liability of that server should be purely removed. So this would be the way that you could make that policy and you could make it work. But then again, I believe that this is a bad thing, because what you are doing is you are forcing the people that have a purely multiplayer experience, the World of Warcraft, the Helldivers 2, these people, you are forcing them to become subscriptions. Because if they don't become subscription, they leak their trade secrets. And let's keep in mind, right? It would be debated in court. So what we're talking about here is, let's apply that to Helldivers, right? When they're talking about, wait, where's the fucking bill? Okay. So when they're talking about ordinary use means the purchaser's ability to use a core feature of a digital game, consistent with a reasonable expectation of a purchaser based on how the digital game was advertised, marketed, or otherwise described by the digital operator at the time of purchase. Okay. Let's go see Helldivers. Okay. Okay. Is a third-person squad-based shooter that sees the elite forces of the Helldivers battling to win. Blah, 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 blah. Combat is accompanied. Okay. Okay. Look, I don't have very good writing here, but it is an online co-op. It is an experience where they're like, to join the fight for freedom in hostile galaxies. Like, it's obvious that we're talking about multiplayer, that we're talking about like a changing war, a changing landscape. When we look at the publicities, we're going to see that they're talking about events and shit. So when we look at that, like let's think about that. Would that mean that the publisher of the game, like, they don't only need to publish at the end of the useful life of the game. They don't only need to publish the game, but a means to do these fancy things, right? To do the events. Because technically, the events are part of the publicities, right? So wouldn't it be reasonable for one to assume that the ability to create these new events should be given along with the servers? That's going to end up in court. And this is like a possibility that is impossible. Yes, at the end, they either have to bring out a sequel to it, or at least give us the soup. That's retarded. I'm sorry. So, first of all, bring out a sequel, that would be impossible, right? Because they are forced to, like, give you the code. So, you made the sequel impossible. So that's the first thing. So either it's subscription now or no sequel. And, like, give us the soup? That's... No. If someone made a good game, I want them to be able to make games in the future. Like, everything you're describing right now is things that go in my way. The current way things are working is working out fine. There is no issue. Literally no issue right now. The Stop Killing Games movement is a fad. It is a fake, like, populist movement where we're pretending that games are this ethereal thing that are going to be, like, permanently in time available to you. And the big issue here is that the effect of that are going to make your experience worse. Because you, and Stop Killing Games in general, are misunderstanding how things work. The rhetoric is bad, and it infects the politics, and it makes the end user suffer for it. Holy shit, if you're still there, Q King, that's is that my... Okay, that's... Whose account is this? Q King. Q King sent something on Discord. So you have, like, your account on the right. On the left, is it mine? I never had a discussion in decades. Reminds me of a friend. That's fair. Games have to be ethereal because it's part of our culture. I don't want Tang Tang Sabor being a protagonist in the game. Mr. Chief was enough. I'm not sure I'm understanding this part. But here the core is the rhetoric is bad, so you are producing bad politics because of it, which will yield bad result. So understanding how the system works gives you a better understanding of how to fix it. Like I told you, you can force them to give out the server, but remove the liability from it. So that way it will be less of an issue. But I do believe that this is a bad policy, even in this corrected form. But when, okay, if we want to, let's roll back. Let's roll back. The reason why I'm triggered with this guy is because he lies. There is, like, when he's saying, I think like 5 seconds before, maybe.
Because they thought they were going to get a reasonable period of enjoyment out of this, and then had the rug pulled out from under them. And
this situation doesn't exist, right? We need to understand that everyone that didn't have the experience for the multiplayer, that they bought a multiplayer game and didn't have the experience, were reimbursed. Everyone. The reason is that even if there is no law that specifically states if you have a multiplayer game and you like remove it, you need to reimburse. There's no law saying that. It is still illegal to do so. There is a reasonableness standard when you buy a thing. So if I go and I buy, let's say I buy a lamp, and like the internals of the lamp break within 24 hours, I can absolutely go back to the seller or the manufacturer and tell them, you got to fix this. And if they don't, I can sue. It's just a fact. So this is true for software as well. If you give something out, you say, this is the service I'm giving, and you're not getting that service, you can sue. This is why, like, these companies are not giving reimbursement of the greatness of their art. They know that lawsuit would come instantly. It's alright, but for me and people's my kind, aka OG gamers, servers with or without liability, should be in the hands of their company can handle it. The way we pay for server maintenance for our spec instead of paying subscription. Well, the truth here is you would probably find that companies would cut the cut whenever they close down their service way earlier. Because if you have a subscription, you'll have less player like playing the game through time, and the company would like see very quickly when it's reasonable to cut it down, when right now they don't really have that feedback as much. So I truly think that it is like worst in every point. But here, the point that he's using to justify is bad. Now here, we can also, the company don't have to pay for the server costs, less player are still players, and host play electricity. Well, it's more than that. The issue is that when you're a big company, liability is a thing you need to think about, and there is a minimum requirement of upkeep that is needed. So your costs are going to exist there. Look, maybe you're different than everyone else. I think that everyone in this Stop Killing Games group believe that a subscription model would be a significant downgrade. That's just how it is. But here, when we're going to let's finish this.
to continue to be able to enjoy that. My point being, you can't save your data, you're not going to get the system updates, you're basically kind of going back to square one, but that's kind of what you signed up for, is to use the game as you invested in the first place, and to allow...
So you mean I should think of the company people who get their employee cut off every week and cut off my dream and nostalgia? No, sorry, no deal. This has no binding to what I just said. If they do a subscription model, they can bypass this whole law. They don't have to share anything, and now everyone has to pay a subscription to play the game, which will reduce the amount of player true times that play the game, and will make it so your game ends up being removed faster. So even if money is not an issue for you, you end up with less usable playtime because of this law. It is an all-around loss.
To allow that for, some reasonable period of time. So there's a menu of options there that
Exactly, and in order to turn something to a subscription written down lawfully, buy now isn't an option. It's right there. What do you mean? This section does not apply to any of the following. Any subscription-based services that advertiser offer the sales of access to any digital game solely for the duration of this subscription. Right there. This makes it so all of this doesn't apply. So if you have a subscription within California, because this only applies to California, if you have a subscription and you say, okay, if you're in California, you need to be in the subscription model. You cannot buy it. Say a product says buy now, another says try now. See the difference now. You're missing the point. There is no buy now option. This is what this creates. This removes the buy now option. Do you get that? When I say subscription, I mean people of California won't be able to buy now. This is what this creates. Because all of this is too much of a liability.
that could include a refund, but also give an alternative to refunds for the producer's use.
Yeah, I feel like there are a lot of different options in this bill. I'm not clear on, as a user, the complexity of all of it. I feel like maybe there's some more work needed here. But I think we're the last stop on this bill, and so I agree with the refund. I wish the bill just focused on making that clear as a first step, and then maybe we come back and do other pieces. And so and we talked about this. I think I'm going to lay off the bill today, but hopefully we can get to a point where we can just be real clear about what the options are. But thank you so much for raising the issue.
Thank you. And again, I would just say the options are there to be able to provide the flexibility for the producers, and they could always choose a refund, or they could have some other option that again meets the principle of allowing the purchaser to have a reasonable enjoyment of the game.
Senator Menjivar.
Madam Chair, if I could ask the opposition a question.
Go ahead.
This is our thing.
If I could get clarity. In the analysis, the author gave some examples. One of them was the Concord. It was only on for 2 weeks and it got shut down. And we're talking about the ability for a consumer to be made whole if it gets off the server so quick. In that example, if I bought a game 2 weeks later, it's no longer on. Currently, right now, can I go and get a refund?
In the example of Concord, Sony did offer full refunds to everybody who bought that game, and they were notified in advance. The reason that game got shut down is because players complained that they didn't like it. So Sony said, okay, we heard you. They issued an apology, and they offered full refunds in that case. The other case in the analysis is The Crew, which was online for 10 years. So they did not offer refunds, but there was 3 to 5 month advance notice, if I recall. So notice and refunds are standard industry practices. In the analysis, there's one example.
During a reasonable time, 10 years, maybe not so much.
10 years, no. But standard...
Are you retarded? Concord was refunded. Concord was refunded. Concord was refunded. This is what they said. Hello? Are you listening? Concord was refunded. It wasn't for 10 years! Are you stupid? 10 years! There's no way you're that dense! 10 years! $10 years! Give me my memories on my money. 10 years, bro! There's no way. I don't know. I don't know how I can deal with you. 10 years. My way or I way. Yes, but your way is retarded. So I'll take the I way. Those 10 years means a lot. Those 10 years would have never happened if it was for that bill. Do you get that? They're not poof all of a sudden. You would have never played that game again in your life. The fact that a game isn't playable in the way that it was doesn't mean that it your memories are not like wiped. What are we talking about? I cannot play Dota 2 in the same way that I played it 10 years ago. No, it's not I've been doing this for 10 years. Let's be honest. No one plays the same game for 10 years. Come on. Come on. Who brings that? Because it is retarded. Because if Dota changes their standard, right, their balancing, are we saying that, oh my god, this is bad because I remember a time when Lion was OP? What the fuck? This is not, you have no right to that. Cool, it's a single player game.
Video game retailers
Oh wow, there's multiplier to it too. Who cares?
will also provide refunds within 14 days if you bought a game and you didn't.
Let's
play
get
it
to
and wanted to
the
return
thing
it.
that you don't like.
So there's also that option.
And can you the author there one part of the bill is around the ability to go on a community server. The author is stating that that's currently allowed right now, so long as you're. If I don't want to misunderstand what you said, Assemblymember.
That's correct. Minecraft is currently hosted by community servers. Call of Duty community servers. So it's an option that is out there in existence here today.
They're illegal and they are not in any way affiliated with Microsoft. Microsoft for Minecraft has gotten a lot of criticism because of those community servers not employing the same safety standards that Microsoft does on their Minecraft servers.
So is it like the black market of video games?
Yes, in fact, we consider it piracy. We have lawsuits, 2 pending lawsuits against private servers right now. And the United States Trade Representative, in their notorious markets reports on counterfeiting and piracy, has named some of these big private servers as a notorious market.
Okay, so I know that your brain was unable to comprehend the dynamics, okay? I know that your brain is not able. What do you think the question from her was? The question was not, is Minecraft specifically like illegal in a way that it doesn't exist? That's not the question that she is asking. What she is asking, her question is this a solution that exists for all games? This is what she's asking. What she is asking is, does every game, wait a second, is every game having community servers? The answer to that is no. Let's go to the illegal part. Technically, if a community server is not authorized, it is illegal. Do you understand that? Mojang made some rules to frame how your community server works. But these rules are not legally binding. This would mean that Mojang could sue every single server owner. They could. They choose not to. So when she says illegal, what she means is that this is not... You are in fact talking my language now. I'm liking it. Okay. The thing here is that the question she is asking is not, do community servers exist? The question she is asking is, do community server, are they a solution for everything? But in fact, they're a pain in the ass for a lot of things. World of Warcraft, that's a big one. When she's talking about they're the black market, that's what she means. She's talking about servers that are made for a game that the person that wants to like make this work, like the producer of the game doesn't want this server to exist. And when she's talking about this was a problem with Minecraft, this is because people were saying, you remember the news story, I'm sure. People were saying there's pedophiles on Minecraft. There's pedophiles on Minecraft. So Microsoft and Mojang were like, oh boy, how do we solve this? Because people are associating our names with pedophiles. We don't have any control over them, apart from the fact that we can sue them because they are technically illegal. Not because they're pedophile, but because this is our software. Pedophiles were... No. Both of them were done together. Roblox and Minecraft pedo. Roblox is the one that they talk more about because the thing about Minecraft was fucking retarded. But Roblox, Minecraft, and Fortnite. A lot of it. At the start, it was both. Both were used together. And it was slightly reduced because a lot of people had pushbacks for Fortnite and yes. So here, she is answering the question correctly. Maybe he's not willing to, maybe he doesn't understand what the fuck she's saying, but he is lying in that instance. When he says, yes, it is an option, it's not. It's not. In 99% of cases, it's not. And she provides the correction. So here, when all of the news that you had that were like, or maybe I won't find it. Oh, wrong one, I guess. Private and community servers for Minecraft and COD are illegal. Amount to piracy. And they don't explain fucking jack shit. They're retarded. So servers aren't an option to play. No! There is no legal right to that server. What she's asking is it a thing? Like, you don't understand. These people don't know shit about games. What she's asking is it like a thing that is automatically created? Each time you have a game, there automatically is community server. That's the question that she's asking. He says, yes. She says, no, they're illegal. And they are, in fact, illegal. Because technically, they are. If Mojang wants, they can sue all of the Minecraft owners. I think the only exception to that would be if you're like a non-profit that doesn't take any money in for your Minecraft server. Like, apart from that, they can sue everyone. Automatically created. She doesn't understand what fucking how it works. Are you...
In the analysis, there's one example.
During a reasonable time, 10 years, maybe not so
10
much.
years, no. But standard video game, you bought a game,
To go on
a game and you didn't play it and wanted to return it. So there's also that option.
and can you the author there one part of the bill is around the ability to go on a
Wait. That's retarded. If she doesn't understand, she doesn't say it. Okay, it's not accepted. Holy fucking shit. If I go to your grandma and I ask her, is there community servers in Minecraft? Whatever the fuck she answers is not useful because she doesn't know shit. That's the issue. She doesn't know what to ask. She needs context. His short answer is tantamount to lying. If you are, let's say that she will just say, I don't know. This is retarded. She doesn't know if she doesn't know. Throughout all of what she says, she literally says, I'm not sure about anything. Are you hearing her right now?
on a community server. The author there one part of the bill is around the ability to go on a community server. The author is stating that that's currently allowed right now, so long as you're. If I don't want to misunderstand what you said, some member.
Does that sound like certainty to you?
That's correct. Minecraft is currently hosted by community servers. Call of Duty community servers. So it's an option that is out there in existence here today.
They're illegal and they are not in any way affiliated with Microsoft. Microsoft for Minecraft has gotten a lot of criticism because of those community servers not employing the same safety standards that Microsoft does on their Minecraft servers.
So is it like the black market of video games?
Yes, in fact, we consider it piracy. We have lawsuits.
New York is part of America. What the fuck does that mean? The thing is, she doesn't know. She shows that she's unsure about fucking everything. And she, okay, you can say that it's biased. You can say that she is framing it into an extremely pro game producer way. You cannot say that she's lying because she ain't. Is framing is outright garbage. Like, the truth is, if she would not have answered, let's say that she wasn't at the mic, she would have followed up. She would have said, wait, it is an option? Why are you talking about Minecraft? And why are you talking about, like, COD? Why are we making a differentiation here? She would have followed up. But she answered that, right? She completed the answer and obviated the need for the next question. She doesn't know, right? Then she should shut up. Not saying that's retarded. These are lawmakers. They need to have the information. This is why these hearings exist. Are you retarded? So what you're saying is that every lawmaker should just sit on their hands and be like, I don't know a thing, so I'm just going to not say anything and not try to educate myself. What she's trying to do is she is trying to take the proponent of the bill, this guy, against the proponent of the private sector, her, and try to understand what the thing is, what's going on. So you admit she made all of it up. She made nothing up. Imagine making all the development place at a place this high. E is. Do you get that? Do you get that if she doesn't follow up, she gets a wrong impression on how this market operates? Do you understand that? Do you understand that this is a disingenuous framing from this guy? If you don't understand that, you need to. You're getting taken advantage every day, my friend. You're getting fucked. She followed up and straight up lies. Where's the lie? There's no lie. Minecraft servers are, in fact, illegal. You can... fucking Mojang, Microsoft can sue anyone they want for their Minecraft server. The fact that they are illegal doesn't mean that the illegality is enforced. Enforcement is not the same thing as like legality or not. Jaywalking is illegal. Jaywalking is illegal. It doesn't mean that everyone's going to fucking jail for it. At least it is in the US, okay? Prove it. I'm hosting a server right now. It has no part of Mojang or Microsoft. You're moving to another argument. You're moving to another argument. You get that those are not the same thing, right? You're changing the core. You cannot debate what I'm saying, so you're changing the core of the argument. You're saying, I have a server that has no part Microsoft in it. That's not the argument that we're having. The argument that we're having is if community servers are given, legally, they are still property of the company. Unless you make a special license for it. I don't know. I haven't... fucking hell. I haven't seen the legality of like recreating... I don't see how it could be like, I don't see how it could be legal. But I don't know. I haven't made research in the legality of back engineering a fucking server and making a new one for a game. I don't know, okay? I'm sorry. This is not the argument. The argument here is that everyone on the fucking media is lying about her instead of giving the fucking background. You are being taken advantage of. You are the fool. You get that all of these people are using this to push a bill that unless your brain fucking warped into a new dimension, makes this worse, right? They are using this to make things worse. I'm not influenced by those third-party journal. No, you are influenced by sorry, did I say journalists? I'm fucking retarded. By YouTubers that read half of this and start yapping. You get that, right? What you got is you got this.
Enjoyment of the game.
If you bought a game retail.
Loud. I remember. Oh, so long as you're. If I don't want to misunderstanding that that's currently allowed right now. So long as you're. If I don't want to misunderstand what you said, as a member.
That's correct. Minecraft is currently hosted by community servers. Call of Duty community servers. So it's an option that is out there in existence here today.
They're illegal, and
this is the clip that you heard. Okay, this is the framing, and at the top of your short video, there was probably Minecraft server illegal! Exclamation point! Exclamation point! This is what you heard. This is bad faith framing. You get that? You didn't have someone. I just look at all this in the TV. It just happened right there. Okay, so you were looking at the Californian Committee for Economic Development. No, you were not, okay? Stop. You were on YouTube or on something, and you saw a disingenuous framing. You saw the disingenuous framing. So you watch the 2 hours and 40 minutes of this thing, and you watch every day the Professions and Economic Development Committee from California. Azur, you are a bad liar. You are a very bad liar, okay? We both know that this is not true. We both know that you saw a fucking clip, or you saw a YouTuber, or you saw someone that had interest. Okay, 8 me on that, no issues, lol. It's okay to use Arch. It's not bad to watch clip on YouTube. It's bad to gobble it up like a fool. I'm saying that you're being taken advantage of. I had fun on this discussion, but anyhow, okay, cool. I had fun too. But my friend, you are being taken advantage of. Please. Like, not only on that, on literally everything else. You need to be a little bit more critical of the fucking framing that these people put into things. The world has not been created like in 5 minutes and like full of people that want to kill you. I am not truly neutral. I have a side. My side is the continuation of my country, okay? The continuation of Canada and our institutions. You think you want that because someone else told you to think that. Just like everyone else. Just like everything else. What I'm saying is that you should realize that this desire does not come from a logical argument. It comes from a vibe. Because when you realize what the vibes arguments that you have in your life, when you can understand that you're having these, you can understand that you're being taken advantage of, and take the time that you're using to these vibe arguments in order to refine your understanding of a system in order to make it better. Because right now, you are the aimless missile that is destroying America. You are just one side of the same coin, right? The populism that is right now burning through America won't stop burning. Because no one, fucking no one, is willing to look at their own beliefs and tells themselves, where the fuck does that even come from? Why do I want this? What do I truly want? How will I make my wants happen in an efficient manner? Okay, so me falling on the ground will kill millions. Let me give that a shot now, lol. You're misunderstanding what I'm saying. What I'm saying is that you're a useful foot soldier for people that like to take advantage of people that don't really think about issues. It's just a vibe. It feels good to you. 99% of people are like you. And this is why democracy is not that good. But it's the best thing we got. So fuck. Alright. It's all good. I gotta go eat anyway. Was fun to yap. Was fun to debate. Please, for the love of God. Please, for the love of God. Read the policies, okay? And understand what they do. Have a good day. Bye-bye.